But we're settled on the grid, and we're waiting now for Formula One in Singapore for the 6th time. It's lights out, and away we go. Rosberg already moving towards Sebastian Vettel. He's got a good start from the second point on the grid, and he's alongside and ahead into the first turn, and then goes wide. Alonso steaming through for Ferrari, goes third. I think that's Lewis Hamilton, who's gone off the track a bit and cutting the corner in his Mercedes as they now make their way towards turn 4 and then 5, the right-hander, and that's Romain Grosjean being challenged by Mark Webber. Lewis Hamilton on the inside there of the Ferrari of Felipe Massa. Sebastian Vettel back ahead from Nico Rosberg, looking at Sergio Perez making a move, looking at Massa, and Hamilton having a good old ding-dong with Button just pressed behind them, and through into turn 7 they go, and Mark Webber gets ahead of Romain Grosjean, and Hamilton goes wide once again.
I wonder if Hamilton will be deemed to have taken that place back by having gone off the road and gained an advantage. Touch and go, that one, but Fernando Alonso might be rubbish at qualifying. He is brilliant at starting and having the confidence on the brakes into the first corner. He's always doing that, isn't he? Always getting up there.
You can get two cars side by side through turn 10. It's Perez and it's Gutierrez, and Perez just noses ahead as now over the Anderson Bridge they go. Vettel leads Rosberg, leads Alonso. Rosberg got alongside him, got ahead, ran wide at the first turn. Sebastian Vettel doing okay. He is ahead of Nico Rosberg by 1.9 seconds, okay? I think that's pretty okay for him. Fernando Alonso is third, then Mark Webber, then comes Romain Grosjean, then Lewis Hamilton, who's had a great tussle with Felipe Massa. He's ahead of him at the moment, then Jenson Button, Hülkenberg and Perez, and here comes Kimi Raikkonen on Paul di Resta.
Okay, Lewis, we've been instructed to give the place back to Massa. Need to give the place back to Massa.
Not a surprise, and there it is, place given back. Hamilton will have to try again.
Yeah, I think that's fair, frankly. He went off the track and then stuck his foot on the throttle and gained the high ground into the next corner.
But he's having a go down Raffles Boulevard. He's going to try and go the long way round the outside if he can at turn 7. This is where he went over the white lines before. Felipe Massa covers him off and holds on to that 7th place.
Lewis has got history there, of course, when he tripped over Mark Webber and it took him out of the race with McLaren. But frustrating for Lewis. But they're the rules, and it's nice to see them applied consistently. Well, if Vettel carries on at this speed, which he probably won't, but he'll lap the field. Now that would be something, wouldn't it? Would that be a first?
Yeah.
And except for those bizarre races where nobody would cross the line and finish in Monaco, was it 82?
Yeah.
Where nobody wanted to win.
Off the top of my head, I don't think it's been done before, but you're right, he's going absolutely storming at the moment. 4/10 up on Rosberg through the first sector on this lap 4. Ted, down to you. Just look at the start, 2 seconds, okay, Ted, and we can see how Rosberg got away really, really well and how Ricciardo got bogged down off the start. Martin.
Yeah, so Nico's got perfect position for T1, but just cannot make the nose stick, and he tries to brave it out. Vettel will not let him back into the queue. And that job then is done. Let's watch it from on board.
He was pointing straight at Vettel when he got away.
Oh, Nico hit the rev limiter a little bit too hard as he was waiting for the Red Bull to run into him. Stick, stick, stick. Oh, well, he actually ran completely off the road there.
Well, 215 metres he had to try and get the overtake done, and he did, but then just ran out of road, a straight road before the turn. Now, Fernando Alonso.
Brilliant. He kept the car absolutely straight, did not induce any wheel spin at all, and then just helps himself right around the outside, keeps it on the racetrack as well by a centimetre or two, and he just makes them look silly down into turn 1. He's got all that planned out in his mind, and that was just perfect.
Just had the greatest line through into turn 1, didn't he? On board with Jenson Button from the thermal camera. Look how the rears light up ahead of him.
That's a great shot.
Certainly is. You can see.
Who's that out there?
That was Hamilton, I think, who ran wide.
Plenty of heat in his radiators as well, isn't he? You can see the exhaust gases bleeding off the back of the bodywork. And another shot there. And Mark Webber really had to get on the brakes as he got pinched by Alonso around the outside.
And that's what caused Lewis Hamilton to run wide as well, Martin, just to take evasive action as Webber stamped on the brakes. Hamilton had to go right, as he'd have gone into the back of him otherwise, and that's di Resta and Raikkonen. While we've been watching the replays of the start, Kimi Raikkonen has there helped himself up into 12th place.
Look at Suttil's time, and it's equivalent to his teammate di Resta in the same car, but di Resta on the super soft time.
So that then is Kimi Raikkonen taking the place from Gutierrez up against the wall in T6. Now he's got the perfect braking point. His two cars lock up in front of him. Perez being the McLaren on the end of Raikkonen's nose.
Okay, Lewis, so Alonso P3 is holding the pack up.
Yeah, but at the moment, Lewis Hamilton is round about 6 seconds behind Fernando Alonso, and a few places difference. Alonso third, Hamilton down in seventh. Is this just a normal tyre stop? Looks like it. Remember, of course, we're running anti-clockwise here in Singapore, so for the drivers it's a bit different in the pit lane.
This looks like he's heading towards a three-stopper, doesn't it, at the moment?
Well, that's bang on cue for a three-stop strategy, but it also gets Raikkonen out into some clearer air.
I mean, generally.
Yeah.
Would you say? Would you say it's sort of heading that way? We've got Bianchi in the pits as well now from 22nd place as it was. And it's a very slow pit lane here as Gutierrez pits for Sauber.
Yeah, and that's just to cover what's happened with Lotus. Meanwhile, what's happened to Lewis Hamilton? Big lock up and just coming back on track before that rather large sausage curve.
Yeah, I think he elected to come back on track rather than go straight across the runoff there to...
As Fernando Alonso carries on his way, 3.4 seconds behind Nico Rosberg. Massa then pits. Rosberg is 7 seconds behind Sebastian Vettel. And here's interesting, Martin. Ferrari with Massa thinking, no, we want to be on the medium tyres for the next stint.
No, they're not. They're thinking, what are we going to put on Fernando next?
Yeah. Do they have to do that with Felipe Massa now? He says I can't help Fernando Alonso.
They need to know what to put on Alonso when he comes in. Is that too cynical?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
But I hope it's not the case, but yeah, you're probably right.
Let's see. Depends if they bring him, how quickly they bring him in, but it might be a bit cynical, but it's not out of the question, shall we say.
I said that Raikkonen was going to catch up to Bottas soon, goes really wide, doesn't he, at turn 5, but gets a brilliant exit out of it. Of course, with better traction because of the fresher tyres, Kimi Raikkonen moves himself past Valtteri Bottas up into 15th place.
Trouble with the rears, mate. Trouble with the rears.
So do we see Mark Webber coming into the pits in the near future?
I love the way Mark Webber on the radio, just like when you meet him in the lift or the lobby of the hotel, he speaks exactly the same way, despite sort of piloting one of these things between the walls. So Vettel then with a 52.7 out front now, just showing how fast he can go as Mark Webber pits.
Yeah, to be expected. While he pits, having trouble with his rears, his teammate has just set the fastest lap of the race.
And that's quite a recent decision they've made there, isn't it? Because they're only just ready for him.
And right at the head of the pit lane, well, they had to get their running spikes out and get out as soon as possible. And more cars coming in. Jenson Button and Nico Hülkenberg for their pit stops. 60 kilometres an hour must seem so slow for these drivers.
On that camera yesterday, I said as they went out, you could see the flat spots on the tyres, and a few people tweeted me saying, it's where the heat's gone when they've touched the ground, you idiot. And they're absolutely right, I think. Right,
Daniel Ricciardo, who hasn't pitted yet, is ahead of Mark Webber. Well, the man who's taking Webber's seat for next season, because he hasn't pitted. I wonder how long he's going to be holding Mark Webber up down Raffles Boulevard. Not very long by the looks of it. And there he goes. Esteban Gutierrez sets a new fastest lap of the race after his pit stop, and Mark Webber moves himself up a spot to 7th. McLaren getting ready for Sergio Perez as well. And look, there's the Mercedes crew out there ready and waiting.
It's going to be tight for Alonso to get out of there.
Yeah, the McLaren boys kind of brace themselves. There's a nice little window there for Fernando Alonso to come out into, assuming, of course, that he's out ahead of this Force India.
Box, box, box.
Nico Rosberg coming in then.
Quite do it.
No. 3.4 seconds. Fernando Alonso was stationary. Had it have been 3.1, it'd have been ahead of Paul di Resta. As now Mercedes ready themselves once more. For Lewis Hamilton to come in and make his pit stop. Now Nico Rosberg to come in for his pit stop.
They've stuck with the belief, haven't they, of 2 stops. They've hung it out. Put his rip-off of his visor, made sure he went outside of the car and not down his own airbox.
Jackman has to jump up in a hurry. Decent stop, that.
They're stacking the Mercs.
Yeah, Lewis Hamilton coming in as well. Beckham getting a good vantage point. And now Romain Grosjean in at Lotus. That was neatly executed. Hamilton stops and Grosjean can get out, but 3.5 seconds. It was slower than they would have wanted down at Lotus. And look, there's Alonso still behind the Force India of Paul di Resta, who of course hasn't stopped yet. Grosjean comes back out, Hamilton behind him. Grosjean, and then Hamilton, then Massa, and Jenson Button with the DRS wide open, and Kimi Räikkönen, look, past Maldonado with Nico Hülkenberg right behind him, and Sergio Perez is going to have a go as well, and then wheel-to-wheel going down towards turn 7. Perez on the inside, Hülkenberg goes around the outside, somehow only Hülkenberg has a minor scrape there and just runs over the curb and runs wide, but this is still continuing through turn 8 and on towards the Padang, and where now they turn left-handed once more. Perez behind Hülkenberg, behind Maldonado, and Gutierrez joining on the battle as well, and Hülkenberg moves over. Perez trying to find a way through, just can't quite manage it.
Hamilton has jumped Massa in the pit stops as well. So Lewis Hamilton moves up a spot. That's worked out. No wonder they said his pace was good. Now Hülkenberg went off the track. You could argue that he was already ahead and he was defending in that position, that he didn't gain a position by going off the track. The stewards will be looking at it, I'm sure. Derek
Warwick, driver steward for this weekend as well, president of course of the BRDC. Well, this is a nice little scrap that's going on at the moment for 12th. Had to run wide, there was nowhere else for him to go. Nico Hülkenberg. See it again, Martin. What do you reckon?
I think because he was already ahead, he didn't gain a position through it.
What is this doing to his tyres, running so closely behind the Force India?
Yeah, well, they're doing 1 minute 54s. We've seen Räikkönen go out in clear and do a 1 minute 51.7.
Oh.
So that's how much is hurting Fernando Alonso.
As we look at Hülkenberg and Perez once again.
Good move from Perez.
Yeah.
All right, he's been ordered to give that place back.
Nico, you have to give the place back to Perez. You have to give the place back to Perez. Race control. What? For what? For leaving the track, Nico. Leaving the track.
All right.
Come on, Nico. Keep pushing. Can be still a good race. Come on, keep pushing.
Right, so initially it looked like Sergio Perez had left his braking late and then pulled off a top move, but...
These tyres are terrible.
Okay, message understood, Lewis. Pace looks good, though. Pace looks good.
Yeah, but he's not enjoying them. Grosjean, though, at the moment on the super soft tyre, seems like a big sparks coming up from under that rear wing. Seems like a very good decision for him. He's hunting down Mark Webber and getting very, very close to him in the fight for 5th and 6th. If you want to watch this, oh dear, and we have got a car into the wall, and it's Daniel Ricciardo in the Toro Rosso, and it's down at turn 18.
Guaranteed safety car there, I'd have thought.
Now, maybe we were tempting fate a little bit by saying no one's had a big moment into the wall, but at what is a 50-mile-an-hour corner, safety car coming out, if that board is to be believed. And yeah, our timing screen saying safety car deployed as well. Let's see what happened. Under braking.
He's locked the inside wheel, so he just didn't quite get the turn in, and then realised quite late that he was in the middle of an accident.
Yeah. And no way of getting out of it.
Yeah, it was his left front lock that just took away 20–30% of his retardation. And
Lotus decide, look, let's get Kimi Räikkönen into the pits now to make a stop as we see the lock up from Ricciardo.
It's sort of mid-stint, but Alonso pits. It's mid-stint, isn't it? So maybe they'll just put, as does Grosjean,
yeah, covering him as well.
Super softs on. So now they're all teaming into the pits. Otherwise, look at that, that's worked out well for Alonso. Otherwise, they end up too far back down the crocodile of the cars behind the safety car.
Yeah, look, they're all coming in now as well. Massa, Button, Räikkönen, as I mentioned, Perez and Hülkenberg. Interesting, Vettel, Rosberg, Webber, top 3 at the moment, haven't made a pit stop under the safety car.
I think Perez had to wait a little bit in line there as well.
Ted, down to you. What did you see?
Not only Perez had to wait, but Kimi Raikkonen had to wait 5 or 6 seconds for all the cars to pass him, making their stops. That didn't work out well for Raikkonen. He would have lost time there. We'll see what positions he's lost. The other people to pit: Bottas, John-Eric Byrne, Perez, Grosjean, Alonso, Button, Raikkonen,
and Hamilton hasn't pitted. It was the top 4, but of course they're on the medium compound tyre at the moment. Might take a third of a lap to totally clean your tyres. Well, they had to hold Raikkonen whilst Hulkenberg came past.
Yeah, because they knew Hulkenberg was in the next garage. That was touch and go. They possibly could have got him out there, but a little bit better safe than sorry. Look at the difference in the lack of tyre temperature.
From yellows and oranges to purples and pinks.
You can see them flare up. They almost need to give the drivers something in their visors so they can see this for themselves.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're being told over the radio, of course.
Great innovation there from FOM, isn't it? I really like that. There's so much information from those seeking cameras. Ted?
Yeah, the top 4 didn't stop because they weren't in their safety car window, Team Radio.
Well, I still don't understand why I had to let Perez pass. It was inside, I had to go on the curb, and then the car bottomed and it pulled me to the right. But I was in front before the corner and I was in front after, so where's the problem?
A safety car
Nico,
period.
that's understood. We focus now on the race. We discuss after, can be still okay.
Good time for recrimination, isn't it, Martin? You've got a little bit of a breather. Why not have a big whinge to your team?
But I agree with him, I have to say, Ted.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with him.
I know, but once you've got, now we're not racing, let me just vent my spleen, says Nico Hulkenberg. So, no, but the top 4 clearly they're not in their 2-stop safety car pit stop window. So I can assume that everybody's going to stop one more time if we weren't to get any more safety cars after this. But that does also throw up an interesting thing, doesn't it, towards the end of the race when Alonso will have to do another stop.
Rosberg trying to stick with him every single bit of the way now. Vettel gets on the power, just a little point and squirt.
Can't do too much of that.
No.
Otherwise, he breaches those regulations. You're not allowed to go like crazy and jump on the brakes. Is that since he ran into the back of Mark Webber in Fuji?
Yeah.
When it was Lewis Hamilton out front, wasn't it?
It was, right, in very different conditions there. Someone's locked up their brakes before we can get racing again. Past the safety car line we go, and away then goes Sebastian Vettel with Nico Rosberg in hot pursuit. Mark Webber in 3rd, Lewis Hamilton in 4th, ahead of Fernando Alonso and Romain Grosjean. There's a lot of guys there. Singapore, and it's Sebastian Vettel who'll lead them into turn 5. He's done well with the restart. What's happening behind? Fernando Alonso and Romain Grosjean there going through turn 5. And Grosjean's got Paul di Resta right behind him.
Keep an eye on my tyre pressures. I feel like I've gone over debris.
Okay, copy that message.
Front right, front right.
Okay, front right looks good, front right looks good.
Ooh, front left got mightily close to the barrier there, didn't it? Good.
We have a problem with air consumption on the engine, so we need to box this up. Please box this up.
No!
They're going to top the air up.
Oh dear. Grosjean not wanting to come in.
So presumably somebody will reach in with a device. Ted.
Yeah, so it's a Renault guy who has to reach in. He's got an air bottle on his back, or just by him. Look at the guy in the yellow shirt. He's actually trying to fit it. Oh no, they've got to remove a hatch. That's such a slow way of doing it. Other cars have just an area where you can
Ted,
reach
hang
in.
on.
What is wrong with this car?
I think that's what...
Oh, this is just horrible. I've watched Red Bull rehearse this, and they've got a guy with an air bottle on his back who can just reach in for a quick refill on the left-hand side of the driver. This must be a more significant problem. I'd be amazed if Lotus, a team with their experience, didn't have that same quick fill fix. But this is taking ages and ruining Romain Grosjean's race. You can see he's just sitting there. Just a matter of note, though, everyone's meant to be wearing a head protection, and that Renault guy certainly wasn't in the pit stop.
Maybe they didn't have a spare down there for him, Ted, but what that has done is absolutely ruined Romain Grosjean's night.
Ok, quindi Vettel è a 13 secondi, poi ti ricordo è il super soft nuovo, quindi un po' difficile con lui, occhio che dietro ti resta sempre super soft.
Yeah, and he is. Sebastian Vettel about 3 seconds a lap quicker than you, Fernando, on the super soft tyre at the moment. And the rest of the man behind you, they say, is also on the super soft tyre. As I mentioned, safety car came out because of Daniel Ricciardo's accident at that corner. Let's hear from him with Rachel. Meanwhile, out in front, a mere 11.9 seconds at the end of the last lap was the advantage that Sebastian Vettel had, as he crosses the line to set a new fastest lap of the race of a 1:50.1. Where is Nico? There he is.
A pregnant pause.
Yeah, around about 9 months duration, I think. Oh, what were you saying about heading towards the scene of the accident?
Whoa. Just got away with that one, and then remember to open his DRS.
Yeah.
So, Nico, we believe you have rubber in the front wing, which is losing you front downforce at the moment. Mate, you're doing exactly what we need. Good job.
So they're trying to get themselves a pit stop, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're trying to cover themselves off against anybody who can get to the end of the race. Yeah, they're concerned about that, aren't they? That's why he was told to go. Ted.
Yeah, but this rubber in the front wing of Rosberg, don't know if you can see it on that shot, Martin. I can only see a monitor across the pit lane, but that's ruining his tyres because of the understeer that it's inducing. He's been told to use the diff and anything else that he can, as we see Romain Grosjean calling it a night, to try and balance out the car if he can.
Well, they've got to last 39 minutes, haven't they, rather than 20 laps.
I'm just trying to work this out, actually, Martin. The pace that Sebastian Vettel's doing at the moment, I reckon we still might get
We've had this before
61 lap race.
I've had this before, Crofty, in commentary. It always looks like you're going to run out of time, and somehow they squeeze them in.
Could well be going a 61 lap race.
OK, Lewis, so push, 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 push. It's all starting to happen now.
Oh, yes.
Because now Mark Webber is gone, and the chasing pack then can start to apply a little more throttle.
So box, 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 boost to 0.
And now Webber's pitted, they're going to have to cover it. Worth keeping an eye on, but he's got a job to do, and he's got a job to try and hang on at the end. But you never know. And there's Mark Webber, you can see on the screen, just coming underneath the grandstands now, as Nico Rosberg stops now. Cool, he came in at a fair old lick there.
Never. Just overshot his marks a little bit.
Is that one way of helping clear the rubber from the slot, you know?
Be the worst job in the world, front jack man, for a
Wouldn't fancy
Formula
it.
1 driver in a hurry.
So a 3.6 second stop because they had to clear the debris on the front wing. Rosberg comes out, Webber comes out, Webber gets ahead of Nico Rosberg.
Hamilton pits then.
Yeah, pits from second, and that now moves Fernando Alonso up 30 seconds behind our race leader Sebastian Vettel, who does have to stop again, just to remind you.
Also, they video that from above. They'll be showing that to the drivers. Both Mercedes drivers overshot their marks.
Yeah, look how much slower the pit stop was as a result of it. Through goes Webber, through goes Rosberg.
Meanwhile, Adrian Sutil randomly does the fastest lap of the race, down in 14th position.
Yes, here's the set I didn't use yesterday.
Yes.
Just been saving them at the moment.
He earned them. He earned that set of tyres.
Yeah. Look,
He put the lap in on the mediums and then took a gamble, and he stays in front of the man who never gives up.
And Checo, other cars have done over 30 laps on their prime, so we can definitely do this. You're doing a really good job. Keep the pace up. We can get to the end.
right, here's the thing, Martin. You know, they're concerned with Alonso, but what about the McLarens as well?
Yeah, well, that's really good news, because that means that Webber and Rosberg and Hamilton and co have got to pass those cars that are not coming in. We're going to have an electric finish to the race. They've got to get through there. somehow. They'll have a much faster set of tyres, but they've still got to get the overtakes done.
Team radio.
Okay, Lewis, we need to get past Webber. We need to get past Webber. Nico's had the same message.
You're racing all cars behind.
And Mark's going to clear in first, then the two Mercedes might well get hooked up behind him. Mark's got DRS all the way down this back straight. He's got to make this move stick down into turn 7 if he's got any chance of getting back on the podium. He does so, but as we thought, the Mercedes are going to then be held up for 3 or 4 corners. They may even be another lap before they get that opportunity. Gutierrez slow off the
Sauber is out of turn 13. That might be the next bit, but Rosberg actually out of turn 9 has found a way past Gutierrez, so a little bit sooner there. Hamilton has to slot behind, going through the side of the former Singapore sling, and now on through the little chicane. Hamilton just has a little look on the inside, but out of this left-hander, Gutierrez gets away a lot more slowly, hadn't got the traction. Hamilton can ease his way past, so not too much damage there for Hamilton or for Rosberg, and Webber only just got the job done against Gutierrez, didn't he?
It was harder for Webber.
The Padang is alongside Gutierrez in the Sauber, 2 Ferrari-powered cars, and Massa pops himself up.
Presumably Hulkenberg should be a sitting duck down through 6 into 7. Mark Webber, a little bit squirrely coming out of turn 3, lost some distance there. Now he's got needs a perfect turn 5. He wants to be on the podium. He needs to make this move stick right now.
Look, and there goes Raikkonen as well on button once again. Raikkonen just at too much behind going into the braking zone. Here's Webber on Hulkenberg. This is going to be tight. Webber just about makes it. He moves himself up past Nico Hulkenberg and into 6th place.
And a beautiful exit despite the overtake. Superb exit off T7 as well to move straight up towards Sergio Perez.
Yeah, Perez being reeled in like some lovely tasty fish at the moment if you're Mark Webber. Through turn 13 we go, decent exit from Webber, Hulkenberg, and oh, here comes Kimi Raikkonen going into turn 14. Button's got the inside line. Raikkonen gets squeezed wide, but he's just gone ahead of Jenson Button, and he's made it stick, and he moves himself up into 3rd place, whilst Webber has a little look on Sergio Perez on the run down to the next right-hander. Raikkonen makes the move stick, and Webber just has to wait for his turn.
Jenson shouldn't have let him through there, around there. He'll hate it when he sees that back on the replay, but his tyre's pretty second-hand. But Mark Webber was trying all sorts of weird and unorthodox moves to get immediately past Perez, because I think that's released Raikkonen towards the podium now.
Yeah.
Now Mark Webber.
Maybe it's better to let them pass to get some small points. If I fight now, I'm dead in 2 laps. Okay, Nico, okay.
Perez has to fight though.
Nico, try your best, otherwise the rest will be all over us. Try your best to keep it past.
De Resta isn't going to be all over them, so he's just gone wide down at turn 7. He's gone off into the barriers. Hulkenberg has let Rosberg and Hamilton pass him, not putting up too much of a fight, and there is a car stricken into the barriers, and it's Paul De Resta. Now what does this mean now to the race? Can they recover that car quickly? Do they need the safety car out again? It's certainly the end of the race for Paul De Resta.
Oh, he's got it out.
Oh no,
Good.
he's got it.
So that means no safety car, hopefully, because that's going to spoil the end of the race. And anyway, it's not anywhere as tight as where Ricciardo was in. They should be able to cover that under double waved yellows.
Engine stopped. The smoke and the steam coming off Paul De Resta's Force India. It's another retirement for the British driver. Vettel leads Alonso by 20 seconds. 15 seconds back to Raikkonen. There, Jenson Button and Mark Webber make that Mark Webber and then Jenson Button. 4th for Webber, 5th for Button. Then comes Perez in 6th. Behind him, Rosberg and Hamilton in the 2 Mercedes. Having a little look down the inside. Nico Rosberg trying to spy where the gap is. And there shouldn't be an overtaking move at the end of this straight, because that's where Paul De Resta's Force India is.
But they've chosen to cover under double wave yellows. That's good. That means potentially men on track slow down, be prepared to stop, but definitely do not overtake. It's one of the key overtaking plays. They've cleared the car away, which is good. So now it's all about, can Mark Webber catch Kimi Raikkonen? Alonso way too far down the road. Webber lost nearly 2 seconds to Raikkonen while he was having that fight with Button. Jenson's pace looking horrible now. His rear tyres are giving him serious problems.
Yeah, they took the gamble. McLaren, it hasn't worked for them. Sergio Perez just ahead of Rosberg, just ahead of Hamilton, just ahead of Massa at the end of the bridge. And Hamilton's having a little go on Nico Rosberg. Rosberg just too far ahead and keeps on to that 7th place. But look how Lewis now is really pushing on. Sergio Perez holding up Rosberg, and that's just all the incentive that Hamilton needs here.
This is going to get wild.
Do they all emerge unscathed? That's the big question people are going to be asking at the end of this scrap. Vettel, Alonso, Raikkonen, the top 3.
And they've re-enabled DRS down that turn from turn 5 to 7 again, now that the debris is out of the way.
Now, surely that means that Perez could be in trouble. He is here, because look, Nico Rosberg makes the move going into turn 1. A good move from Rosberg. That had to get it done quickly and spied his opportunity. Perez just too sluggish. Hamilton might just spy the gap. No, door closed on him into the right-hander. And look, there's Felipe Massa almost shoving the Mercedes out of the way as they're wheel to wheel. And he's offline is Felipe Massa, picking up debris on his tyres. That certainly hasn't helped him. Hamilton just ahead. He's looking to overtake Perez, but also defend against Massa behind him. And this is the battle for 6th and for 7th and for 8th.
Come out, we need to try and short shift if you can.
Yeah.
And the message that we heard in Monza has returned for Mark Webber.
4 laps to go. Webber 6 seconds adrift of Raikkonen.
But yeah, great old Perez, I should say. The Jenson Button and Nico Rosberg. Perez and Hamilton behind him. There goes Rosberg down the inside of Button, who just has no grip left to make the fight.
Lewis was moving around a lot behind the back of Perez.
He's going to have a go into the left-hander here,
it's
isn't
an
he?
unusual place.
Under the grandstand.
Come out, we need to short shift all gears, please. Earlier than that, you need to be short shifting earlier.
Gearbox on its last legs, literally, for Mark Webber. 5th and final race. And fingers crossed that he makes it now to the end of the race with the short shift problem on board with Felipe Massa. Behind the McLaren of Sergio Perez. Once again, Martin has to move over into the marbles that are offline just to get the move done.
And Hülkenberg will now be on to the 2 McLarens as well.
Who are beginning to struggle, and Adrian Sutil just gaining a little bit on the back end of what is turning into a brilliant scrap.
That could prove to be very helpful in getting him past the two McLarens.
So this is the move Rosberg made on Jenson Button at the inside line. And this is the move that Jean-Eric Verne was trying to make on Esteban Gutierrez. He passed him Maldonado right behind him. There's a dangerous lock-up from the Frenchman.
He didn't lose his front wing as well.
Yeah, it was almost a
good driving.
Vettel leads Alonso, Raikkonen, Webber, Rosberg, Button, Hamilton, Perez, Massa, Hülkenberg, the top 10. There's Massa and Button now trying to go round the outside the Ferrari. Button holds on to him, then Perez, then Hülkenberg quickly down to, Ted Massa's now making the move on Jenson Button out of the right-hander. He's going to get it done by the time of the next corner, and Felipe Massa moves himself up another place into 7th. Ted.
Just a quick one on Mark Webber. It's not getting any better for his gearbox. It's being told over the radio.
Come out. This is about getting the car to the finish now. We need to try and get the car to the finish. We need low revs.
You're going to be on that podium, Martin. Did you really think you'd be talking to Kimi Raikkonen today?
No, nor Fernando Alonso.
And there's Hülkenberg with Sutil right behind him in the battle for what is the last points scoring position here in Singapore tonight. Sutil almost having to go completely over the white line to try and find a way to the right-hand side of the Sauber. But let's go back to Nico Rosberg, who, as you said, Martin, catching Mark Webber. Turn 8. They're at the moment. There's an opportunity if he gets a good exit out of the next left-hander. He's setting himself up for it here, isn't he? Mark Webber having a short shift. He's a bit of a sitting duck down by the Padang, and look, there's Lewis Hamilton.
He was so slow on the upshift there, and kicking the gear in so early that Rosberg nearly ran into the back of him.
Well, Hamilton thinks Webber's there for the taking as Sebastian Vettel starts his final lap.
In trouble, mate, in trouble.
Okay, Mark, understood. Keep boxing.
Well, how much distance has he got between himself and Massa now? About
8 seconds.
Yeah, bar the first corner. Sounds horrible, doesn't it?
It's the motor.
Yep, okay, mate. We've got no power.
It's the engine. Rather than the gearbox, the short shifting was to save the engine.
Mark Webber will try and get this car over the line to at least start his final lap here. But while he does that, his teammate is going to be coming into sight in a little while to take the applause, the checkered flag and the 25 points. What a race, and what a comparison between two Red Bull drivers.
Yeah. No, Mark, as ever, drawing the short straw, being the unlucky one.
Passed by Felipe Massa there as well. It's Jenson Button ahead of him, but no one has been ahead of Sebastian Vettel since the first corner. Rosberg got past, but couldn't make the move count. And Vettel absolutely coasting home. And I mean literally coasting home here as well. Such is his gap, he doesn't need to put any stress through it at all. There's now flames coming out of the back of Mark Webber's Red Bull. He pulls over to one side as Sebastian Vettel makes it 3 wins on the bounce in 2013 and a hat-trick of wins in Singapore. It's Vettel who wins the Singapore Grand Prix. The fireworks and the celebrations are all for him tonight. He has shone brighter than the stars in this part of the world. And Christian Horner is that relief. Were there problems? Certainly didn't look like it too much from outside of the cockpit. It's Vettel's win, but behind him, it has to be said, 2 sterling drives and a great piece of strategy as well for Fernando Alonso for Ferrari to come home second for the 3rd race in a row, and for Kimi Räikkönen with a bad back. I hope he can get onto the podium because he's there. 3rd for Kimi Räikkönen tonight from 13th on the grid. Nico Rosberg takes 4th. Lewis Hamilton comes home to take 5th. Felipe Massa past Mark Webber to claim 7th. And for Mark Webber, major disappointment. His engine giving up on him at turn 7. He had to pull over and shut it all down. There's a scrap going on. We're watching the fireworks. And I tell you what, they're still racing. And here we are. Button leads Perez, leads Hülkenberg, leads Sutil over the line. Sutil claims the final points place. The 2 McLarens coming home in 7th and in 8th. And Hülkenberg didn't fight the Mercedes, but managed to hang on to a couple of points here tonight. Maldonado for Williams finishes just outside the points once again.
Well done, Seb. Great drive. Well done.
Yes! Yes, boys! Yes! That's what I could control. Thank you. The car was absolutely fantastic. This is team effort. This doesn't happen just like this. This is absolute team effort. Every single one. Yes, I'm loving it!
And Mark Webber gets a lift back from his mate, Fernando Alonso. We see these two so close together on the track. Not often this close. That's huge disappointment though for Webber. His final Singapore Grand Prix. He comes back assisted by the Ferrari of Fernando Alonso, who must be feeling a touch claustrophobic, I'd have thought, in that cockpit. The victory margin for Sebastian Vettel, 32.6 seconds. That's nearly double the largest winning margin of 2013, which is in Belgium, when Vettel beat Alonso. In fact, it's Vettel-Alonso, isn't it, in the last 3 races. I hope Fernando Alonso can see past Mark Webber's knee. Spectacular sight.